Don't mistake patience for weakness. We are going to hit you, both Iran, their economy, their military has been decimated by President Trump's action. Their ability to get nuclear weapons has been decimated. But now we're going to look at all those people that are doing business and feeding billions of dollars into Iran's economy and say, you got to stop doing it or it's going to affect your economy, too.
I think there's a good risk that if they're really hurting, that before it gets to the point where they would feel the need to find a way to stop it, meaning they would be prepared to negotiate an end on terms that might not be the terms that they want. I think before we get to that point, they will escalate militarily.
Yeah, hey, Bill, good morning. Overnight, President Trump announced economic D-Day against Iran as he calls on other countries around the world to support the United States. The president indicated that if any country provides a financial lifeline to the Iranians, they'll face their own economic consequences. The president posting to Truth Social saying no one has given the Islamic Republic of Iran a greater opportunity to make a deal than me. Tragically for them, they have failed to take it. Therefore, today, I am announcing the most crushing economic operation ever taken against any country. This will be economic warfare and isolation on an unprecedented scale. On Wednesday,
Iran has dismissed US President Donald Trump's newly announced sanctions campaign as they might as a diversion from domestic American issues, warning that so-called economic D-Day would only bring further defeat to Washington. It comes after Donald Trump announced the launch of an unprecedented, crushing economic operation against Iran after the two countries failed to reach a deal. They warned that any country offering Tehran a lifeline will face severe financial retaliation. Let's speak to Ambassador Dennis Ross, who is a former US Middle East peace envoy under Bush and Clinton's administrations. Ambassador, thank you for being with us. Can you just give us a detail here, for those who haven't followed quite as closely as presumably you have today, what economic D-Day that Donald Trump describes this as means in real terms?
Well, first I have to start by saying it's fairly typical for President Trump to overclaim what it is that he's doing. We have had sanctions on Iran for a long time. We have had secondary sanctions on Iran for a long time, meaning someone who does business with Iran runs the risk of being sanctioned by us. What he's describing is we're going to go much farther than we've ever gone before on that. Now, that would be interesting. He's going to have a summit with President Xi of China. Who buys 90% of Iran's oil? China. So are we going to see the president crack down hard on Chinese banks or what they call their teapot oil companies for doing business with the Iranians, even if they try to shield it? I think that's an open question. I'm not so sure that's going to be the case. I do think, however, that the fact that we have a blockade on Iran, and that makes it very difficult for them to import or export. It means it's very difficult for them to get their oil out.